a short amount of time.
If you go over a little, it's okay.
Okay, so I might go over slightly. Hopefully not. I want to keep it on schedule if I can. So, I'm already 4 minutes behind. So
Yeah, that's my
really,
fault,
really
so-
quick. All right.
Oh, that's me. There you go. Right, you're up.
All right. So my topic is video resources. Did anybody come to my session on the Creation Station at Symposium? No? Oh, so this is all new. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, cool.
Last month, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, you were there. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That was the one freak snowy winter day.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we all know using video rocks. Currently there are 80 educational channels on YouTube with millions of subscribers. This isn't just a fad. Video is awesome. And teachers and students are using video in learning environments at unprecedented rates, as you probably know. So strength in numbers, Canvas plus videos equals awesome, which is true. The average Canvas course has about 11 videos in it, and this is information we got from Canvas. So just to let you know, that's kind of low in my mind,
Yeah.
but that's what they did when they, did a whole research study on all the courses. That's like an approximate
And
number.
what would be a good number?
What would be a good number? Oh, geez. I'm not sure. It depends on how long the course is. The important thing to think about is like not just doing a video for everything. If it's in context, then yes, but like the cat videos I'm going to show you.
Well,
they're
11
probably
doesn't
not important.
surprise me because I think there's a tendency to be a bimodal. Either you're not going to have very many videos at all, like me, or you have a lot. So that's just the mean. That's not the median. It's not, that's just the mean state.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
As long as they're good quality videos that students.
I have my entire course, my entire lecture on there. I calculated it up last semester, it's 21 hours. And it's like over 200, I'm sure it's well over 200 videos. All
Okay.
Are Zoom videos good quality?
They can be. It kind of
So how can
depends,
you
like,
make them good quality?
if you're recording with Zoom,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be as good as your computer is, like as good as your computer microphone,
And your lighting.
camera, lighting.
And your internet connection too.
Internet
Don't have an open window behind you.
Yeah, you don't have a massive glare in the background. I actually do a presentation on like what makes a good video. This is not that presentation, but I can answer questions like that too. So
With videos, are you talking lectures and cat videos?
yeah, it could be any kind of video. Yeah,
Maybe you can do this in the afternoon, a little bit of that though.
if you guys want me to, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Since
Yeah,
we've got
I have the
time.
presentation ready.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and you also she can take a group of you that are interested too and just hang out for a few and.
Yeah, I do like a best practices, like top 10 best practices.
Yeah.
So what video platforms do instructors use? They're using Canvas video. So if you've ever uploaded a video using the Canvas tool or you've recorded one directly within Canvas using that tool, that's what they're talking about. YouTube is going to be the second most popular one, Vimeo, and then third-party video apps. And this is all information that we got from Canvas. So just to kind of show you what they're using it for. Canvas video is more for like interactive things like submissions and feedback. They're using YouTube for more like discussions and conversations, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. Give you a overview. So why go through the effort? Videos can support learning outcomes. Videos get replies when you put them in discussion areas. Courses that use videos see higher completion rates. And it provides instructor presence opportunities, which is really important in online courses. The students feel like, they get to know you, like it's a real, face-to-face, as much as it can be like a face-to-face.
I wanted to ask people who've done videos on their online courses, because I think that when students get to see you, they are like starstruck a little bit because they saw you before and you exist. You're real.
Yeah, you're a real person. It's not just a robot, or whatever. Because it can feel like that. It can feel pretty isolating as a student if you don't even know like what your instructor looks like. You don't know what their voice sounds like. You just have like somebody giving you text all the time. I don't know. So So the first one is supports learning outcomes. Canvas sampled 30,000 content pages. It found that, surprise, surprise, pages with videos get more views. So you can see the little graph there, and it's kind of small. I might try to make that bigger. Let's see, I don't know if I can make it bigger while I'm in presentation mode. But you can see the ones with the video got more, it got clicked on more, as opposed to the ones without video. Videos generate replies, so they have more replies than posts that do not have video. That's 11.5%.
You're talking in discussions, right?
In discussions, yep. And this is all information that we got from Canvas. So video resources in Canvas, everybody knows the upload record media tool, correct or no? Or is this all new? Is anybody who doesn't know? Okay, I'm gonna hop out of this presentation real quick and get into Canvas. Actually, so there are a couple resources I'm gonna show you. The upload record tool in Canvas, which if you didn't know this, if you use that tool to upload any videos that you've created, it doesn't go against your storage within your course. So if you're going into the file section and uploading all your videos that way, it's gonna count against your course storage. But if you use the Canvas upload media tool, that doesn't count against it. Canvas will store all those videos on their server. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you've ever had issues with storage in your class, that's something to consider. So instead of uploading them all in files, do it that way.
But you cannot access those videos later.
You can use them in future courses, but yeah, you can't like download them and keep them offline.
Unless you have like a third-party browser.
Yeah, unless you recorded the video, using your computer and not in Canvas, and then you uploaded it through that tool, then you would have your video.
Okay.
But if you're using that tool to record, then no. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it might be that like using that tool for feedback for one student is a great use.
So hit the mute on your laptop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. It's a great use for it because you're probably not going to need to keep a feedback video, but something that you want in another course, it's better to record it with something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that tool to do your basic recording of things you would use over and over. And then I'm going to talk about the YouTube app really briefly. And then Vimeo is also an app in there, which you can find free videos that way. And then Films on Demand, which is a Auraria library resource that we have. It's actually an LTI in Canvas, so you can use Films on Demand in your class. So any film the library has, they actually, and even if they don't have it, they can actually digitize it for you and then give you that copy of it.
But is this available to Anschutz? Anschutz Canvas? No, right?
It's not. Oh, yes.
Yeah. But I'm guessing that the Health Sciences Library probably has a video.
I think, I'm hoping anyway that Alex is working with that library.
Great. Yeah.
You can use Films on Demand though. You can use that LTI. You just can't come downtown and use the digitization services for free. Yeah, unfortunately. I think that's the only.
Oh, so the Films on Demand app though, they can use?
They can use,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Which is that? Say that again, please.
Films on Demand.
So will you show us those?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in there real quick. So here's my little practice course I made. So I'm just gonna go into a content page, hit edit. And so you probably already have the YouTube app in your toolbar. Maybe you haven't noticed it before, but it's already there. So all you have to do is hit YouTube, and then you can search for that video. What I like to do is actually go to YouTube, search for that video, and then copy and paste the link, because it's a little bit harder to search in this little box. You want to know what you're searching for already. Banana. Well, now I'm just, all right, what is banana? Anyway, spider and banana, all right. Let's pretend this is a really, really good video. So you can actually preview it here by clicking on it, you can watch it. Again, I would just go to YouTube and watch them.
Like, how about Minions instead of spiders and bananas?
All right, we'll do Minions, all right. But when you're ready, you can just click embed, and that's gonna put that video directly on the page. If you don't like the sizing, you can always click on the video. Oops. Well, usually you can. Hang on. I'm actually not gonna select that video. Let me go back. We're gonna go back to nursing school. All right. Nursing school minutes, all right. Oh, I don't know why it's doing this. Usually, when you embed that video, let me go ahead and hit save. Oh, there it is, okay. I don't know why it made the preview really small, but sometimes it does that. So anyway, you can resize that video too, and I can show you how to do that. If for whatever reason you think that YouTube size is too big, you can click where it says HTML editor on the right-hand side here. And then you'll see where it says width and height, and you can change those to whatever you want to resize that video if you need to. But I think the size is pretty standard and it's good. But if you wanted to alter that, you totally can. So I just wanted to show you the YouTube app really briefly. We have so much stuff to go over. So, and then Vimeo, it kind of works the same way. I can hit that little Vimeo button here.
What if you don't have the little Vimeo?
And if you don't have it, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem. I'm just gonna type in history, but it works kind of the same way. I would find the video by going to vimeo.com because searching on here is just, you can tell it's kind of difficult. Pretend that one's the one I wanted. All right, we're good. Let's save. And the same works for Films on Demand.
And if you go to YouTube and find a video and you just include the link, you do it as you press the YouTube, or you just put it in that page?
So if you go to YouTube, you can just copy that link, and then when you hit the YouTube button.
Oh, so you still hit the YouTube button?
But even if, like, for example, if I go to YouTube, let me just find a random video. So you guys can see what I watch at home, Peppa Pig. All right, so say this is the link I want, this awesome Peppa Pig video. You don't even have to go to YouTube right here and type that in. You can actually just put the link directly on the page, and Canvas recognizes a YouTube link, and it will automatically create a YouTube.
If you do it this way, though, you are using course space, correct?
No, this is all hosted on YouTube.
It is, oh, okay, cool.
I don't know why it didn't do that.
I
There we
usually,
go.
I usually put like the title of the video and then link it, and then it will show up.
So here it is. It automatically makes a little preview of it, and when I hit play, it'll expand. There we go. All right. So you might not have those little things like Vimeo, and let me show you Films on Demand too while I'm in here. This little F. It works the same way. These are all the library videos. So I'm just gonna reward one. There's got to be a video at the library. All right. You can preview it here if you wanted to. I'll put preview. That's all. All right.
Yeah, everyone has access to this.
Even an
Is there a little,
Yes.
is there a little button in here? Because I don't see that.
She's
So-
gonna show you how
I'm
to
gonna
get
show you.
that.
I'm just kind of showing you the tools, and then I'll show you how to get that.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So we'll pretend that was just the best video ever. We want that video. We hit embed. Again, it works the same way. I hit save, and we're good. There we go. All right. So you don't have these apps in your course. That's all right.
And then, sorry, just one question before you go to the app thing.
Yeah.
Is there, just like with photos, you can actually tag it so that if someone wants to know what it is before they click on it, so.
Alt text.
Alt text. Can you do that with these?
I
You have to
don't.
do it in HTML. If you do
So
it on-
YouTube has already tagged the video.
Oh, it has, yeah.
So if you click on the video and you go to YouTube, it's going to have all the tags for the video. I don't know if I can alter
Embedding
those.
it should automatically, it's already built into it. I think because YouTube gives you that, it has an embed code that I think already includes the alt text with it.
But like that second one, when she was, when you're on that second one, it doesn't tell you what it is. Like if you put your cursor over
Vimeo
that
video?
second one.
Yeah, but what I would do, I wouldn't just put a random video on there. I would be like, this is a video,
Okay.
about whatever. So you want to give it some context. I cannot type. But I wouldn't just randomly put a video in there. You'd add the context surrounding it, whatever your lecture might be, and then here's a supplemental video to watch or something. Yeah.
Once you add the buttons of Vimeo and Films on Demand, they will stay there forever. I don't need to add them to other courses.
You have, it's by course. Yeah, YouTube is always there, but the other ones you have to add course by course, but it's very easy. So all you have to do is go to your course settings. So if you go all the way to the bottom in your course, you hit settings. Actually, I'll leave this page. And then at the top, you'll see apps. So if you've never gone in here before, there are other things besides just video resources. You can, scroll through and find anything you might want to use. Let's see. So I'm just scrolling just to kind of show you that there are all these apps available that you can add into your course, but we won't get too far into that. So all you have to do is search, like there's Vimeo. It already says it's installed in my course, but what you would do is just click on it and then add app. And then it installs it into your course. So then it'll start showing up in that toolbar. That's it. That's all you have to do. There's no.
It asks you for this course pin and things though, and I know I've done that before, but I don't know where you get those.
For Vimeo?
Well, any app.
It depends. Some apps are gonna ask you for a key and a secret, which is a code, and app by app, it's different. Some of the apps, you get that from the company that has the app. Some of those apps, you can generate your own. Some of those apps, you call us and we give it to you. So my suggestion is these two that Amy's showing you, you can do yourself. If you have an app you wanna use and it asks you for that, get in touch with us. We'll help you figure it out.
Because I tried to do Office 365 yesterday and
We have the codes for those for you, yeah.
Because of that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Films on Demand, it's asking for consumer.
Yep.
key.
So I'm gonna show you guys. We're in that process right now.
You got the codes for O365.
I know. So anyway, if you want to go through and mess with these, definitely try it. Some of them we don't have a license for, and it's something you have to purchase. Some of them, we have grant funding available. So if it's something you think, oh, this app is really going to be awesome in my course, you can get in touch with Kim Penoyer, and she does small mini grants. And so if that's something you want to do, we can probably get you funding for it if it's something we don't already have. So that's something to consider. If you see something you're like, oh, I'd love to have this, but so keep that in mind. But I'm gonna actually.
I have to ask, Brightspace D2L app, what the heck? That's a D2L app there.
What is this?
Oh.
Those personalized. My guess is you can add something that D2L makes into Canvas.
Oh, like the rubrics?
I see,
I
I have designed for.
It's not free though, yeah, it's a
D2L
licensing
and
fee,
Canvas
yeah.
simultaneously.
don't know.
Oh, I
It
have
says sales
no
at
idea.
D2L, so you don't know.
Just add Leap as it, so it's a second product that D2L has called Leap that I think is a K-12 thing. That is a standalone outside of D2L that plugs in, so I'm guessing they allow you to use that plugin in here. I think it's K-12 though.
Okay, yeah.
So I just typed in films and it's gonna bring up Films on Demand. This is where you find this. You would hit add app. And then you need the consumer key and the shared secret. That's something we can email to you. I have it in this course, so I can actually bring it up right now if you want to write this down, but we can
If we've
email
got
it to
a
you
Google
also.
Drive for them, we can just pop that into the drive for you. So
Thank
if you
you.
Slack it to me, Amy, I'll get it in the drive.
So this is kind of what it looks like. We have the instructions, just so it's not too hard. There's a key and then a shared secret. And once you have those two things, you can put that app directly into your course. But again, it's course to course, so you'll have to add it into your other courses also.
And that's downtown only.
No,
No.
you can actually,
Oh, 'cause
because
the
the
directions
site
Does that
license,
give you the-
yeah.
Oh, okay, magic.
You just need the codes. Yeah. So share these.
You're like, don't tell the salespeople.
Yeah, don't tell the salespeople, you can tell your faculty.
So, but the films on demand we can't use for Anschutz?
Yes, you can.
You can.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that you can't utilize the services at our library for digitization and all that stuff.
Right.
exactly.
Like if you wanted a video that doesn't exist here, or you wanted something like that, the Auraria Library does that, but as an Anschutz faculty member, you can't access the Auraria Library for those services.
So for example, you have a VHS tape that has an awesome lesson on it, and you want that to be digitized, so you
Oh,
can
I
use it in
see.
your online course.
Okay.
They do things like that at the library for free, but it's for
The three
discount
campuses
members.
here.
But as a follow-up to that, if you go to Denver Public Library, they have the Idea Lab. There's 3 different locations. I know the central location, there's 2 other ones and I don't remember which two they are. They actually have digitization services for free. And so you can go, you can take your old DVDs, even if it's just for like, oh, this is my wedding video or whatever.
And they'll do it for you
They'll do
for
it.
free, you're kidding.
Not kidding.
Well, you own the copyright for your wedding video.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
Not
with
gonna
laws,
do it.
they're gonna be like, oh,
I've
yeah.
done that in like every place, this thing costs like 60 or 70 bucks.
I know, you should take your stuff there.
Go to Costco.
Yeah.
Costco
It's like
does
a
it for
self-service
It's a
thing,
self-service
they have,
thing.
like tutorials there and everything for you.
And you have to stick it in the machine and do it yourself. Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really easy. They have a program that walks you through it. I mean, it's like 5 steps from like VHS to digital, you know? And you bring your own flash drive, or you can log into Google Drive or somewhere that you want to save it. So it's pretty nice. So even if you aren't on this campus, you still have those services in Denver. So
So you're gonna get us the code for that?
We'll put
Yeah.
that in the drive,
Where
yeah.
do you live in Littleton?
Office
you
365.
can still go.
Yes, that's
They're
in the
not
drive too.
Libraries. I don't
Library
think
doesn't
much
care.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least
You just
when
have to get a card, they don't care where you live.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Uh-huh. No, not for Denver anyway, I'm like, I have one and I
Some
live in
cities
Aurora.
like they're picky, but not.
They're probably happy to see people walk through the door.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
That aren't
they're librarians.
heroin.
Yes.
I just say that.
All right, so that was a really quick overview of the tools in Canvas.
And we're here to
I hope
help
you
you add
remember it
those
all.
this afternoon too.
So video resources on campus. So we have the CU Online Creation Station, which is, you see that window right there, the black curtain. That's where the Creation Station lives. I'm actually gonna play this video for you, and this will, everything I'm gonna say, I say it better in this video, so. It's really short, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. Oh, is the HDMI volume not working because of,
It's just not working in general.
I'll turn this up really low.
Can we pair it with the Alexa speaker?
I don't know.
Pair? I don't know, okay, we'll turn it up loud.
All right.
I should have
If
brought
you
my
can't hear
Bluetooth
this, we'll
speakers
just turn
today.
it off, but full screen, there we go. All right.
Welcome to the CU Online Creation Station, your self-service resource for creating high-quality videos with just the push of a button. The Creation Station is a simple studio that makes it easy for faculty to step up the production value of their video content. The studio was designed to be simple, but still give you options for creating different kinds of videos. Let's take a look at what the Creation Station has to offer. We offer 3 different ways that you can create a video. The first is to record yourself on a simple gray background. The second is to film yourself in front of a green screen, which allows you to insert a backdrop and the editing process. Third is to bring your own presentation and project it on the background wall behind you. Now let's see how it works. Place the recording in progress sign on the door handle. Follow the flowchart on the wall to get started. Insert your flash drive into the black USB hub. This will turn on the lights, the camera, and the microphone. Hit the button to start recording. The monitor will count down from 5. While it's counting down, get into place and record your video. When you're finished, hit the button again to stop. Once the screen says session complete, remove your flash drive and you're done. This will turn off the camera, the lights, and the microphone. Seriously, it's that simple. Seriously. If you want to teleprompting and editing your final product, simply follow the instructions posted on the placards found throughout the Creation Station. Thank you for visiting the CU Online Creation Station. We hope to see you soon.
You have, oh, so you do have to book. Okay.
Yep, you do have to book it.
Can you put the?
Here, I'm gonna grab the flyers and give you
Okay,
each one.
cool, awesome.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So in the past, when we've done videotaping, when we've used it so much, the audio and the video starts to separate. So do you have any, like so you're talking and then you're hearing the words separate?
Like there's a lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any suggestions on like how much a video can be used, or is it simply the quality of the video before it's so denigrated that you gotta redo it?
So when you're recording it where? What are you using?
Well, we used a handheld.
And it has a lag?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is the camera old?
Well, this was some years ago when we
Okay.
did it in-house.
I think it's improved quite a bit. Like there's no lag in there at all.
So
And
not
it-
to worry about that.
I wouldn't worry about it
Okay.
unless, I mean, if you're using some pretty old technology, it might be a little clunkier. I mean, it's pretty seamless now.
Okay.
So that's something to consider, but yeah, in there, when you go in there, the screen, there's a display screen that you watch yourself. That's on a lag. So when you're watching yourself, you'll see your mouth move, but you've already stopped talking. So that can be like, it can throw you off a little bit, but your video is not on a lag.
Okay.
It's just weird how it displays. It's like a 3-second delay, which is kind of weird. Just enough to look weird. But anyway, it is a self-service resource for you guys. When you're done with your video, there is an editing station in there. We have a bunch of apps on there, like the Adobe Suite. We have Camtasia, we have Snagit, we have Zoom, we have iMovie, GarageBand, Audacity, any of those kinds of softwares that you might want to use to edit your video. So that's something you can consider. When you do go to book the Creation Station, if you want help while you're in there, you can request that then. But otherwise, you go, you book it for an hour time slot, and you're in there alone. If you need somebody to give you a quick run through, somebody from our team will come in and be like, oh, here's how you use it, let me show you how to do it real quick. But if you do want like sit down help with that kind of thing, you'll have to request that separately. But the Auraria Library, they have the Creative Technology Commons, and they will sit down with faculty and teach you how to use the software. So that's a free resource on campus. Not for Anschutz, but I feel like the Health Sciences Library might have something similar.
I was
to that.
looking for digitization services over there and stuff, and it doesn't look like they have any of that over there.
Oh.
I know, it is ridiculous, I agree, or I may just not be finding it, but.
But I am in talks with the library right now about putting a Creation Station there. So we'll see when/if that happens. Yeah.
And when you're in there, do you have to stand or can you actually sit down?
You can take one of the stools in there if you need to. The camera can't be moved though, it's fixed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, if you're real short, it kind
You
of
wanna
gets
sit-
you about here as
you're
far
like a
as it'll
talking
get you.
head, yeah, or you can sit in a stool.
Yeah.
So if you have a video that you made in the Creation Station, how would we get captioning on that?
Oh, captioning. I actually just talked to my manager yesterday, and she's going to let me get captioning software for that computer. So you could just book it, not even use the Creation Station and just
Use it to capture videos.
So
Wow.
we're looking at a program called Movie Captioner, and it's awesome. At least from what I've seen, it will play back your video, and it repeats the same 5 seconds on a loop until you're done typing. It'll just keep going, and then you hit next to the next segment of 5 seconds, and you can expand it. You can say, I'm good at memorizing, so do 15 seconds, and it'll do 15 seconds on a loop. So it makes it pretty easy for you to caption.
The other thing you can
So
do.
That's coming. That's a real thing. Yes.
If it's short, YouTube does have automatic captioning for short videos. They're not always 100% accurate, but they do let you edit when it's not accurate. So you could take your video, put it up on your channel in YouTube, and then use the YouTube tools to caption it if it's a short video.
Another thing to consider, again, the grant funding. We do little mini grants. So if you have a lot of videos in your course and you want them captioned and you've tried using YouTube, it's not working out, it's just going to be way too much time. We can potentially get you a mini grant that could pay for a captioning company or captioning service to actually do them for you. So if you have just a ton and it's overwhelming, that's something to think about. Yeah.
So, I wonder if there's any studies on demographics on who likes to watch videos and who doesn't. So I have heard from different people in my department that I hate watching videos. And, it does take a longer period of time, like sometimes I'll read the transcript of a TED Talk instead of listening to it for 18 minutes. It takes me like 5 minutes to read it. So what do you think about that, or is there any?
Include a transcript?
Include a transcript, yeah.
Well, include a transcript, but, is there data on that?
I'm sure there is.
There is probably
Yeah.
somewhere, but I go back to maybe it's not about what students like, maybe it's about what is best for their learning.
Okay.
That's my response always when someone says, well, students don't like that. And I go, well, if it really is best for their learning, does it matter if they like it?
Right.
Yeah, they don't like homework and tests, but.
But it's, yeah.
Right, and like
It
one
is
of the
what it
videos,
is,
right?
right?
Video,
Video.
if it's, you could just have a the transcript or whatever.
Exactly, and so then it's also about being careful and making sure that your videos are short and that concise and that that's the best way to deliver that content.
So before we move on from the creation station, I do wear other clothes. Right now, but I do change my clothes sometimes.
Oh, no, I think I have a different one, that's a polo, isn't it? It's a polo.
I had that on this morning, but I changed.
You did the presence, right?
Yeah.
Video, live, making the connection.
Yep.
What about help with someone to come video somewhere else? And how I'm explaining, like at the Cape, do you guys know what the Cape is? Okay, so there is a simulation lab that's a bunch of exam rooms and there's dummies and real students and all this kind of stuff. So I teach a advanced physical exam course with another faculty, and we've tried to do like video. We wanted to do like a head-to-toe exam and videotape it for the students so they can prepare before they come and do it. And you're trying to hold the video while they're listening to, she's been pushing on your tummy, all this kind of stuff. And it would be nice if we could do, because we can't do it in here. We need the tools in the exam room.
So my
How does that work?
solution is CU Productions.
Okay,
So
we have that.
CU Productions, they do high quality professional videos for the campus. If you get the Chancellor's Christmas card every year, they're the ones who make that. You get it in your email, I don't know.
And Ann shoots too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
it's
it is.
starting to
feel like
It's just money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we have to
So
say
they
that.
do,
Yes.
they do awesome, high quality videos, almost commercial, videos.
But we have to
Like-
pay them.
So you have to pay them, but I have a video budget for faculty to come and use CU Productions. So there are some rules, here's an example of a video. This is a professor here that discovered how dinosaurs had sex.
My discovery in western Colorado and here on Dinosaur Ridge are very large scrape marks made by
So they can do
carnivorous
things like this.
dinosaurs. And what we've been able to do is determine that these are a type of breeding season, courtship, ritual kind of display activity that's very, very similar to modern birds. This is really a big deal because it helps.
I'm not gonna make you watch the video.
I want to know
I'll have to look that one up. Oops. I lost that. Where is that slide?
Okay,
There
so
it is.
you could see about getting a grant for something like
Yeah.
you're describing.
Yes, and I have a whole budget for that. I won't say what that budget is, but there are requirements. It has to be for a fully online course. Okay.
So it can't be for hybrid?
Right now it's just for fully online. I could talk to Patty about it.
I think it depends on
It
if your
depends.
students are paying the fees, then you might
Yeah.
be eligible, and if they're not paying the fees, then
Yeah, it's
probably
a
not.
funding
I
thing.
imagine they are.
So we would just have to talk to them and see if it qualifies.
It must be a video that can be used for future semesters, so it can't be like a one-off video that you're just gonna randomly use in a course and then it won't be used for future semesters. And then you have to create a proposal and we'll work with you. So if you just, it doesn't have to be this crazy long formal proposal. Shoot me an email and then tell me what you're gonna be using this video for, what you think the length should be. And then we can work with CU Productions. They'll actually help you write the script. They'll help you get the location, all that kind of stuff. And then we go from there and we pay for it. And this is separate from our mini grants. This is Amy's video budget. So if this is something you're interested in, you want a higher quality video, you want to be on location showing these things, this is going to be your ticket to do that. So yeah, you'll have to, I'll give out my business card.
Yeah, please.
And her contact info is on the contact sheet in our drive, so her email's in there
Oh, okay.
as well.
And I randomly got these out of order. Another video resource on campus is Zoom. Everybody in here, are you all familiar with Zoom? Yes, okay. Everybody has an account, maybe you just didn't know you had one. All students, staff, faculty. So check out Zoom, ucdenver.zoom.us, which we're using right now. And you can do things like web meetings, record your meetings, screen share. So if you want to record videos at home and do voiceover presentation, this is something you could use. But I'm just touching on this really briefly. Another thing, and I kind of talked about it, Auraria Library, the Creative Technology Commons. There is a resource page here So if you want to write down this site, and I'm actually going to click on it.
And the slides will be in the drive too, so you
Yeah.
guys will be able to.
So this is where you can find some of those resources and what they do there. The library streaming media database that they have, digitization services, say that a lot, that's hard. They have a photography studio that you can also do video recording. Theirs is a little bit different, you kind of have to know how to use the technology in there. Or you can request that somebody helps you. It's a little bit different than the one button setup that we have here in the Creation Station. So definitely check those things out. Again, I'm just like kind of going through this really quickly, but I'll make sure these things are available to you guys. Denver Public Library, they have the Idea Lab, which has a sound recording booth. So maybe you're closer to one of the Denver Public Libraries. Definitely check that out. Again, those free services, I'm not saying that word again. And they have an extensive list of software on their computers. You know, they have the Adobe Suite, they have everything that you would ever need to edit your photos or videos. Then coming soon, we're gonna have Camtasia and Snagit available for all faculty. And so if you're not familiar with Camtasia or Snagit, Snagit is used for screen capturing images, and then you can add annotations on top of it. So like arrows and callouts and text and all that kind of stuff. So you can actually screen capture an image, or you can upload an image and then do all those kinds of things. So maybe you want to show them something in Canvas. You can add all the arrows and that kind of, it's awesome. It's really, really easy to use. We're gonna get a whole site license for our university. So you'll get to use that. You'll get to download it for free and it'll be awesome. And then Camtasia is more for video. So you can screencast, record a video, add annotations, edit it, all that kind of stuff.
What is screencast?
Where you want to capture your screen while you're doing maybe you're doing a PowerPoint lecture or something.
Just like Relay we learned about yesterday.
Yeah, and you can record your screen, essentially. So Camtasia and Snagit, awesome, easy to use, and we're all getting them. So, yeah.
And will students be able to use it too?
I don't think so. I think it's just for faculty. Yeah. So at least at this point. Yeah.
And my colleagues use a lot of mathematical notations and graphs, so I wish I could find a recording studio with like whiteboard. So you know, well,
It's possible. The Creative Technology Commons has a studio in there that's bigger than our studio that does photos and video. It might be possible to get a whiteboard in there to do that. Yeah, because our room is just not big enough. But you can contact the Creative Technology Commons and ask them, because I bet you that it's possible to do that in there.
All right, and contact us, which you guys probably already have this information. And I'm gonna grab my business card and pass it out to everyone. And I don't remember how much time I had, but I
You're
think I
good,
went
we're fine. We have time built in for us to have conversations and.
So I just threw everything at you at once. Hopefully you remember. I'm just kidding. You can always email me if you need anything, and I'm definitely here to help. And we're gonna do Creation Station tours this afternoon. So I'll probably take like 2 or 3 people at a time. We'll go in and make some videos and show you how easy it is. Again, everything in this presentation you guys will have available. Let me go grab my business cards. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. So we're gonna jump in, and I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes to chat about workload calculation and show you a tool, and then we have a little bit of time for you to play for a moment, take a break, because we will jump in at 11, and Donna's going to talk about differentiation at that point. So I'm going to take about 5 minutes to walk you through this tool and show you that, and then you'll have an opportunity to either play with that or look at the video stuff. I'll get her PowerPoint into the drive real quick so that you all can see those links if you like. Here we go, awesome. So one of the things as we talked about mapping was that it's a great way to take a look at what work you're asking your students to do. What is it in your course that you're asking them to do, and looking at balancing that. And one of the important things, and this, I know this becomes a contentious topic, like a really contentious topic with people about how many hours students spend on their courses. I'm not telling you there's a certain amount of hours they should spend. I am gonna share with you the federal guidelines for what a credit hour means, but this is not me saying, oh, you shouldn't go over that, or you have to hit that, not at all. This is about saying, be aware of how much time your students are spending and look at that and make sure that you are really using that time wisely, and that if you have a week where you're 10 hours over what you're supposed to be, maybe that's something to look at. So we talked about cognitive overload yesterday, the idea of, yeah, absolutely.
I have bookmarks from the Auraria Library. These are faculty resources for online learning.
Right.
I'll pass these out, some bookmarks, and then my card. So cool. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all
Right
right.
here.
So we talked about that, the idea that there's a certain amount of information that the human brain can process, and as soon as you come past that, you're overloading your students' brains, and they're just not gonna learn or remember what you're giving them. So it's a way to think about that, thinking about balancing your course. If you have a week that's really heavy with a lot of work, maybe the next week should leave some space. If you've got tons and tons of reading happening in a week that they really need to process, maybe that's not the week the papers do. Just really thinking about how you balance your course. The federal guidelines for what a credit hour is a Carnegie unit, which equals 1 credit hour. All federally accredited institutions of higher education, this is what a credit hour is supposed to mean. 1 credit hour equals 1 hour in class plus 2 hours of homework, which would be 3 hours online. So 1 credit hour is 3 hours a week. This is per week of work. So a 3 credit hour, 15-week course is 135 hours, including the time they spend in class, as well as the work that they're doing outside of class. Now, again, this is an old number. This is a, somewhat arbitrary number. So this is not me saying this is what you have to do, but this is the federal government's guidelines for accreditation of what a credit hour is. So a 3 credit hour class is 135 hours of work over 15 weeks. So just thinking about that as you're looking, and I'm going to show you in a second a really great, really robust tool for just kind of calculating that. If you get to the point where you're like, oh my God, I'm at 600 hours in a semester, that's a problem. Or I'm at 40 hours in a semester, that's a problem. If you're at 200, it's probably not a problem. Just thinking about that and about what you're actually asking your students to do. Because also think about it, that if you have a student who's taking 12 credit hours, that is, that's times 4. 135 times 4 over a semester. So that's why we call them credit hours, because that's hours of, it equates to hours of work. So just being cognizant of this as you're designing can be really helpful to you and your students. So how do we do this? Part of it is thinking about what your students are doing with the material. And the reason I'm going to show you the tool I'm going to show you is because it allows you to toggle with sort of what they're doing with it. Are they just surveying it? Is it one of those things that they just sort of need to be familiar? Do they need to understand it? Do they need to really dig in and maybe reread and get an understanding? Or are they actually engaging with it and doing something with it? Because these types of reading and working with content take different amounts of time. Think about how difficult the reading or writing is a way of thinking about that. Reflective writing takes less time than analytical writing. If they have to do research and write, that takes more time than just writing an opinion. So I have found this excellent calculator from Rice University. They did a lot of research into this, and what they've created is this workload estimator. And again, it's an estimator, but this is just a way to sort of help you look at your course and look at what you're asking students to do. So here, and it's cte.rice.edu. Is what it is if you want to bring it up. It's just cte.rice.edu/workload. This is from their Center for Teaching Excellence, I believe is what it's called. But what it allows you to do is put in how many pages, how dense those pages are, how difficult it is. Do they have new concepts or not? And then what are you asking them to do? Survey it, understand it, engage with it. So if I put here like, okay, so this week, and again, this is an estimator. You're estimating. If I put we have 100 pages per week, at 450 words with some new concepts, and they need to understand it. 24 pages per hour is what an average student can do. And again, this is average. You're going to have students who are higher than average, students who are lower than average, but it's just an idea. It's not the gospel, it's just an idea. So thinking 24 pages per hour is about what they can do. And then writing assignments, again, and this is, they're asking per semester. Maybe if I have them, I'm having 20 pages written per semester, double spaced, and this is research writing, and I'm asking them to do some drafting. I'm gonna look at a draft. 4 hours per page is what they're saying is a good amount of work there. And exams, they let you put in exams, other assignments, those kinds of things to just kind of spit out a number. So here, already if you see that if I'm asking 100 pages per week and 20 pages of writing per semester, I'm already at 9.5 hours of out of class work per week in a standard semester. They let you put in the amount of hours. So, and this again, it's an average student. But it just allows you to sort of take a look at what you're asking of them and see where you're at, so that you can judge. Maybe if you see you're over, maybe there's those couple readings that you're like, well, I really like these readings and they're sort of important. Maybe they're not important enough. Maybe they're important enough to put in a recommended reading category for the week. Maybe that's the way you handle some of those things, and thinking about what is essential for students to know and how much time am I asking them to spend to prevent them from overloading. Yes.
So you're saying in terms of readings, mandatory, and then kind of recommended is really optional.
Yeah, that might be a way to handle that. If you're finding that you've got so much reading in your course that there is that students are spending 12 hours a week just reading, that maybe it's what are those readings that you have to do, or maybe even what's the section of that reading that's really important. And the instructions are, I want you to read page 6 through 12 and really understand it. I want you to skim page 12 through 20 just to find what's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking over a class, and in the syllabus, it has all the readings as readings. So they look mandatory, but the faculty would basically tell the students that they're optional, and that what we cover in class and lecture is what they would be tested on. So
I say, what's the point?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what's the point of the reading then? Like, why? If my opinion, if that were my class, I would stop lecturing in class. I would have the reading be the content, and then class time would be activities that engage with the content personally. Or if it's you really want to give the information in class, then outside of class time is things that are related, not just reading the same stuff you're getting in class. Yeah. So again, a tool, a way of thinking about this idea of how much you're asking students to do, so that again, instead of throwing darts at that giant, at a giant target, you can actually kind of target in on, we're probably in this ballpark as far as how much I'm asking them to do, and does that feel to me like the right amount of work for this class? Again, keeping in mind that a 600-hour a semester class is really just not okay. It's okay if it's over what the federal government says, but being excessively over, you're setting your students up for failure, not only in your class, but in their other classes. So
this makes me feel better.
Good.
Because I said I teach physical geography online in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's a class where they know zero about it.
Sure.
And I'd sit there and say, it's like 75 pages a week probably. And I put the textbook, and they need to understand it, 10 pages an hour. I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
And it crunches out, and it's based, and I've always felt like I don't do enough with this class, but based on what this is saying, I've given them 18 hours worth of work, just reading the textbook and then taking some quizzes and exams.
Yeah.
Because they're having to get over this huge hump of not knowing this information.
Absolutely.
I feel better.
Good. Well, I'm glad. And that's exactly another way to think about this too, is as a point of reference to say, yeah, I'm doing what I should be doing. Yeah.
One of the problems I have is 8-week summer semester. It's too short, it's too intense. Can we use this? Is there any discussion? 10 weeks is doable. 8 weeks, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Money, because they wanted Maymester, which is really compromising pedagogy. So, I don't know, is there any discussion? This seems to be very powerful. Look, we need to give up I've not heard anything good about the 8-week semester.
When I was in college, we had 2 summer sessions that were both 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is like a lot, and I'm used to teaching in that.
Yeah.
And a 4-hour lab-based science in 6 weeks. And I look back and I go, golly, How'd I ever do that?
Well, because if you think about it, if you're doing a 3-credit class in 8 weeks instead, if you look at this, if I do that, that's more workload because it's the same content. So it would be possible for you to use this tool. I don't know of any research. I bet there's some out there. I don't know of any research specifically on that, but if you're wanting to make a case to someone about this, you could totally use this tool to show what's going on and to say, is it really reasonable for us to ask 14 hours of out-of-class work a week of our students, and it would probably be more like 20 once you add in the exams and all that stuff, to be covering that stuff. Is that reasonable? And that's a conversation that you could have.
You were, before you mentioned credit hour is 1 hour of instruction plus 2 hours of students' work. What happens, how that's translate when we're online?
At 3 hours, it just becomes the out-of-class work and the in-class time combined to make 3 hours total. And I'll be honest, this is what the federal government says when I'm thinking about my classes. I just think it 3 hours per credit hour per week is all I think about it. And just, I have to remember if it's a face-to-face class that I'm including the class time. I usually don't when I'm calculating my classes, so I'm automatically having my students spend an extra 3 hours a week. And like I said, you know, I think that's okay. I think an extra 3 hours a week is okay. Because personally, I don't know how I feel about this Carnegie unit thing, but that's what the government says. So it's a jumping off point for a conversation about it. Yeah.
I also just want to make a plug for people with non-native English speakers in their class, because you can usually at least multiply that reading time and the writing time by 1.5 to 2. So if you have, I don't know if any of you are working with large cohorts of non-native English speakers, but you might
From
want to factor
China,
that
yes.
into. Yeah.
Quite a few from China.
Yeah. I wish this had a button for that.
Yeah.
I taught a dinosaur course in Mayminster, and it's a great course. It's for intros. Basically, it's, you know, it has a junior level standing, but it's basically for no one walking in and knows anything really about dinosaurs. It's a real thin book, just enough to cover in, 2.5 weeks? But a lot of my students are Chinese, and I was going to do this anyway. I just put all the assessments, even though we met face to face, put them all online, because there's no way in the world they could memorize or understand all that Latin. And so, you know, it's just one of those things, like, trust me, you guys don't want to take this as a face-to-face test. You wouldn't.
I have a question for you. Does the ESL Academy offer resources for faculty, or is there another place on campus that offers resources for faculty and working with ESL students?
Yeah, right now, I don't think we do, but that is something we can certainly look into if there's interest in doing that.
Yeah, just thinking about if you know you have a lot of international students or non-native speakers, that, you know,
yeah,
might be.
Another thing I've noticed is that I think it's good to inform students about this kind of stuff and maybe even show them this, because a lot of them are clueless. I taught a lab-based science hybrid course last summer here, and when I got to talk to my students, it was amazing how many of them have all this work that they do outside of class, and then the number of them that are taking crazy amounts of classes even in the summer. I'm talking 3 classes at the same time. I'm like, how do they even allow you to do that?
Yeah.
And they, you know, all they do is react.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to show them, look, this is how much effort you have to put in, and it sort of makes it a little better. But I wish there was some way we could educate them before they come to class.
Sure.
Well, I mean, don't they have to meet with an advisor?
But the advisors don't talk about this. Don't talk about what a Carnegie unit is and how many hours of work a
And a
class
lot of them
is.
don't go to the advisory meeting.
It's true.
And is this the same for graduate level education as undergraduate?
Well, I'm not 100% sure about the Carnegie unit because I think it goes up. I think the Carnegie unit goes up for graduate education. The calculator is the same. My guess is a graduate student probably is a little faster than this. This is just sort of average student as far as hours go. I'm gonna look and see what I can find about graduate Carnegie unit because it must be higher.
And if there's labs, it's higher.
If labs is higher. So I'm gonna look and find that information, because this is really just, this is base level undergraduate university course, and it's part of with transfer credit, how you can do cross-institutional transfer credit, because everyone in the country is supposed to use the same measure for what a credit hour is. So that's that's part of, and why, like, if you go take a course, like at University of Denver, their courses are, I think, it's a different way they're calculated because it's not semesters. So they calculate out differently when you transfer a quarter class to a semester class because it's all based on this calculation. But I'm gonna look and see what I can
Isn't
find.
undergraduate full-time is 12 credit hours and graduate is only 6.
It's 6, yeah.
So it's,
yeah.
Would you would think that a 3 credit.
I'll find what the number is.
For graduate school would be much higher than.
Yeah, I'll look at that when we break it. Oh, no, there's no way it's not. It's gotta be. So I'll find out what that number is. Great.
Well, I had asked it, and Sheena, maybe you know, I was told that it is generally at the graduate level, or at least within our school, 2 hours outside,
It's
1
our,
hour
for
inside.
our program,
It's
it's the same, we use the same.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think for the calculations, maybe they're fast.
But what happens is because you're paid, like your difficulty, the difficulty of the reading goes up at graduate level.
And it's
And
more
so-
synthesis and analysis, so.
So maybe we're going here, but that's still, we're getting more hours. I'll see if there's anything out there officially. I'll take a look and see what I can find, but it is, I mean, that right there is why I personally, just standing on my soapbox, think this system needs revision. You know, there's a lot of conversation about that in the world of higher ed, about the Carnegie unit, and is it the right way to do this? And I'm on the camp of, no, it's not, let's change it, but yeah.
You have to wait a lot of years for that to change at the.
Oh, it would take like I mean, my God, yeah. Awesome, so let's take a 5, if that's okay with you, so we just get we have a great discussion, thank you all, and we'll take 5 and then let Donna chat with you all. Great, thanks. Wonderful.
Are we talking about etiquette anymore or?